Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. Right now, I'm lucky enough to be sitting right next to Dr. Ember Conley, who's the superintendent of the Park City School District. We're going to be discussing all the changes coming to the school district in the coming months, as well as a little bit of other things involved with the school district, some school safety and stuff like that as well. Dr. Ember Conley, how are you doing today?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again as well. So let's get right into it. I want to start first with school safety. Obviously, this has been kind of on everyone's mind in the last couple months, and unfortunately, there was some breaking news this morning out of Maryland. There was another school shooting there this morning. And kind of on the wake of this March 24th, March for Our Lives event, which is a nationwide event. Park City, luckily, has done a great job at keeping kids safe, but let's talk about some of those safety priorities that the school district has in place.
You know, I'm fortunate to work with a board that has safety at the forefront of what we're doing, and we know that if students don't feel safe, and if they're not safe, they're certainly not going to learn, and that's our main goal. And we've taken some extra safety measures starting this year, and we're going to keep moving forward. I think one of the best things that we've done is engaged a safety consultant, and he has an extensive background in safety and was able to come in and look at anywhere from our front offices to our perimeters to the way our doors lock, and then was able to watch one of our drills and give us some critical feedback of our drills. He's been a tremendous asset to the district.
So to kind of have a little bit of that direction to kind of point you in the right way and change and alter things. And I think that's really one of the biggest keys about this whole thing is having an open mind and being able to adapt to these situations, because it's like it changes on a constant basis. So
it is, and that's something he's really brought as far as every situation is different. And so we have to train our minds around the what ifs, you know, and being aware of our surroundings. And so that's something that we've really started talking with our students, you know, especially our students that go back and forth between Treasure Mountain and the high school. They have to be thinking, if there was an emergency, where do I go? How do I communicate to my parents in the school district? And so that's been something that's really been on the forefront of what we're doing. You know, and the other thing that I would say around safety is because of just the tragedy, I think that has shaken anyone in education or anyone that is in that to a whole new level. And we had a wonderful student walkout on March the 14th. Over 1,000 students participated, and it was student-led. It was we helped facilitate what they felt was necessary, and it was a beautiful act of what we really need to do. And I think it's been an opportunity to have that conversation.
I agree completely, and as hard as it can be, as hard of a conversation as it is, it's important that we do talk through it, because that's the only way we're going to get through it. And I did appreciate the fact that the school district was so supportive of these kids participating in some civic activity, because I think these kids are frustrated, not just, I mean, all across the country, you know, and so they're going to speak out some way. So to do it in a way that is very productive, in a way that's conducive to collaboration amongst everyone in the group, I think that was the best way to go along that. So I think you guys handled that situation very well. You
know, and when you look at how do you really make changes, and it provided a real learning opportunity to be able to say, you know, legislatively, how do you work the process? That's the best government lesson that we'll ever teach. You know, how do you act responsibly and share an opinion that's respectful?
Agreed. Yeah, I completely agree. A lot of kids nowadays don't understand how to participate in civics and to engage in discussion like that, and a lot of it ends up turning into frustration and negative emotion and negative anger. And so having that outlet is a great way, and it teaches kids from an early age that there's a proper way to address these frustrations. There's a proper way to resolve these issues. So I do appreciate that right away. And I think another thing that the school district has done a really great job on is addressing student mental health from its onset, which is something that is kind of it's very lightly addressed in some other places, but I think the way that it's been addressed and handled here is great. Can we talk a little bit about those initiatives?
Actually, I would like to. You know, one of the things that I think is important to talk about is that our children are facing different experiences than what we ever faced. And so being able to engage them on the things that they need and the things that they're feeling is really important. We have been very fortunate in being able to hire extra resources, from counseling to social workers to engaging our community both the city and the county council have been tremendously supportive of our youth. And I think it goes without saying, but you know, we've been lucky to not have a suicide, but that's not to say that we haven't had attempts or students that are feeling suicidal.
Thinking about it.
And I think one of the best things that we've been able to do is to engage the parents at a deeper level, and also have tools for our students using the Safe UT app, being able to really track that data, being able to get referrals, working with Valley Behavioral Health. It's the school, it can't fix it, but we can certainly be a support and be able to gather everyone together.
Absolutely, and you guys can be a facilitator for this discussion to figure out how the community can all come together to resolve this. So I just want to say you guys have done an amazing job at handling school safety, as well as some of these other initiatives that you guys have taken into your responsibilities. But let's talk now about some of the changes that are going to be coming with the school district. Unfortunately, we're going to be seeing you leave, but we're very happy for you in your new position. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So what can we expect to be happening in the coming months with the school district?
Yep. So the board right now has engaged HYA, a consulting firm.
Okay.
So we've met with them and developed what we call a leadership profile. And so they did focus groups with parents, excuse me, parents, students, staff, the board, and have developed, here's what the next leader, some of the characteristics for the next leader. They now are the application window is open, so the future superintendent is applying during this time. And then I believe what the timeline is, at the end of April, 5 to 7 candidates will be presented to the board. Okay. And then at that time, the board will select all of them or a few of them to then have the first round of interviews. I believe the first round of interviews is the second week of May, and then the second round, final round, will be the third or fourth week of May.
Excellent, very nice.
Which when you look at timeline for my exit as well, we had set that July 1 date, but it had been a soft date if the next superintendent hadn't been chosen yet, or if that person couldn't start. I was going to be rather flexible. That has changed a little bit with the new position that I've accepted. And so what we're looking at is, we have closed session tonight with the governing board to talk about what that transition plan looks like. I shared that one of the complexities that I have with Mesa right now, Mesa Public Schools, is the superintendent's last day there is May the 25th. And I want to be able to spend time and train with him as much as I can, and then he's going to be out of the country. And so being able to have a thoughtful plan, a transition plan, to be able to prepare the next superintendent for Park City, but also to prepare me for my next journey.
Excellent. And then there's also, you guys are looking for the opening at the principal for Park City High School as well. There's a couple candidates, I think, for that. We
did. So we went through a really thorough process, and it was interesting. Part of our journey this year has been an extra focus on recruiting.
Okay.
I mean, as you know, and it's a national-wide trend that people aren't going into education. And so what we found is not only are we seeing a teacher shortage across the nation, but because there's not as many teachers, we also are seeing that not as many teachers are going into administration. And so that has really affected across the state and the nation the pool of candidates. But we were very fortunate. We actually engaged in an international job fair.
Wow.
And we're able to connect with over 70, I believe it was 75 different educators, and it was really awesome.
From all across the world.
All across the world.
Wow.
And you start basically with a chat, and be able to ask questions, and then you can ask them questions. So it was a really awesome opportunity, and so we were able through that to have 2 candidates come through. And so we interviewed 3 candidates, and the committee has put forth a name to the governing board. So it goes basically through me. I, of course, agreed. I was part of the committee, and then it's now at the governing board level. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens
tonight.
With that. Excellent. So, and to keep up to date with all this, I'm sure you can head over to the school district's website and check out their newsletter, which will be posting regular updates to everything that's happening. Dr. Conley, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. Congratulations again on your new position, and we're unfortunate that you're going to be leaving. Big shoes to fill for sure. So we're excited to see who's going to be stepping in.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll be right back here on the Mountain Morning Show after this break. Don't go anywhere.